Hey, good morning, folks. We are back from Atlanta. I'm gonna be here very shortly today, not very long, but the screens and everything came in. I actually got a state inspection. That's why I'm not gonna be here that long. But what I'm gonna do while I'm here is here's the converter. We're gonna go ahead and mount that inside of here. They actually, the electrician cut through, and some of y'all mentioned this in the video, and y'all were correct. There was some rebar that was being hit. They got through. It's not as big as a hole that I wanted, but it's big enough that's going to be able to run all the cables. So I actually got one cable already through. So there's one rebar, there's another one there. So we're able to get through. That should be wide enough for everything. I'm going to find my tape. I just cut these Ethernet cables, and all of the cables that I have, I'm going to actually connect them, and I'm gonna put a box on the other side. So I'm just gonna cut every single one of these cables and make them long enough to get through the wall. And then I will do couplers on the end to connect them to do that. And even the Ethernet ones, I might actually just connect those to the box and have the white cables plug into them like a jack, something like that. But I want to see how much I can get done, and then I want to make sure that this stuff was straight when it came in. Because at first, all I saw were the 4 flight cases, rolling cases, and then I'm like, where's that? But it was inside of here. So we'll do that. Got some conduit, and what I think I'm going to do is, depending on how thick this wall is, because that's the other piece right here, I might wrap one black Ethernet cable and go through here so that I can feed the wall. Or I might just do a piece of conduit. I don't know. But we need to feed the feed that's coming from there into this in some way, shape, or form. But let me get this done. Find my electrical tape so I can tape these wires together, push them through, and then I will be back after that. I need to get over to another church as well too to fix their sound system so that they can get that working for Sunday. But anyway, let's get this done and then we'll be back. All right, very straightforward. I have some Velcro zip ties that I'll have this look a lot neater here, but pretty much we have the HDMI from the SDI to HDMI converter coming in into the input. Then you have a DVI output. You have A and B. You could pick either one, but we only have one out. That's going to come out of here. That goes into the sending card, which gives me 2 Ethernet outs. These are the ones that send the signal to the TV. And this is the USB to where you program this card. I don't have my laptop, but when we have everything set up, that's when we'll do that. And then now I'm sitting back trying to reevaluate what might be an issue here. So yeah, the outlet that's inside of here, that makes it easier for the screen to be plugged in. But I need to add an on-off switch to that, or somehow have that routed into this so that, yeah, that will turn off, so no signal, but the screen will still be on. Need to put something, or maybe see what is the actual switch to this, and maybe ask them, and it's real easy to add a switch to the outlet. Might see if there's any way they could put the outlet right here. So when somebody's switching this off, they can just switch this right here and turn both of these off. Nothing major to that. All of the extra tools and stuff right there. I'm probably just going to measure this off so I can find out the exact center of this wall. We're going to use the 2x4s there to do a standoff so that we can screw into those. So there's room to get behind it and adjust it. I do have that felt that's coming in, kind of like what we did at Good Shepherd. So it will match the color of this so it won't stand out. Yeah, I think that's about it. Because these are square ones, I believe. And I like the fact they actually put some cushion in between these now. So we have this. So let me turn you around. So it'll be something like that. And let's do some quick math here. I'm assuming 4, 8, 16, 32. So that's what, 28 panels, if all of these are all full. So that'll be 14 in total. Yeah, so that's 4, 4. I'll split that. So anyway, let me run these cables and we'll be back and we'll start sorting how this stuff goes. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 rows of 7. So we'll measure that off, which will mean that one panel will be exactly center, which is about right here. So we'll measure those off when we get back. Alrighty, doing good, doing good. Got the cables through there, and like I said, we need 2 more SDIs going here, and 3 more SDIs, because I watched the video that I did of the 3 days, and I mentioned it, but I messed up. Forgot there's going to be a TV here, so I need an SDI cable from here to go. Actually, no, now that I think about that, I don't need to do that, because I'm sending a signal here. No, never mind. This is going to be a direct connection from the aux out. So this will be the stage display, which is going to be different than what routes here. So never mind. Yeah, because this wall is going to be connected directly to the presentation PC. So that's going to be the dedicated out for here. But then the line that's going to the digital wall is going to be the aux out, which will allow just to show nothing but Pro Presenter here. And then the main out is what's going to the streaming PC so that they can see a mix of everything. Anyway, so we got to run an SDI cable for this, SDI cable for 2 SDI cables for those 2 cameras. So that's 3 more cables that we're adding there. And then the shielded Ethernet cable, which is going to be for the digital snake, is going to run back there. So we still got plenty of room for that. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to grab my tools, enough that I need for me to do the stuff over at Hood Temple. And I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do with getting this over here. I need to measure this over and do a little math. And then we find out where's the center placement of this, how high up I need to go, and all this other good stuff. And that's probably not going to be till next week, to be quite honest. Because I got a bunch of things I got to do this week. But so I'm not going to do this as a separate video. I will add this to next week when we're back and we do all this other stuff. So let's kick back over to Tuesday. Hey, good morning, folks. AJ here. We're back here at Abundant Life. I'm see about getting this stuff measured off. And honestly, I've been feeling, I'm sorry, I have a cold sore that's healing up. That's where that is from. But anyway, I've been feeling off the last couple of days, so I'm trying to pace myself a little bit, and this just tells me I'm in much need of a vacation. But what I want to do is start measuring this off, because I think they're waiting on me. But honestly, I didn't want to start doing anything because I want them to do this stuff before I start hanging stuff. But what I'm going to do is, the studs are already marked because of this. I'm going to measure this off, and I don't know why I was flubbing on my math. We're going to have 4 rows of 7 panels each. So I want to measure that off and start tacking where that's going to be, find the exact center of this wall, and then at least get an idea of where this is going to go. Maybe put 1 row in, put at least the standoffs that I'm using, these extra 2x4s that they had here left over from the framing. I'm gonna go ahead and screw those in. That would get me a standoff, at least do, because we're doing these in 4. So that'll be 1, 2, 1 bar in the bottom, 1 across here for the middle, and then another 2. So I can maybe be able to get away with just 1, 2, and 3. And just need to measure this off to find a good placement of it. So I'm gonna get one of these out, measure it, do some math, and then go from there. All right, so this thing is 19 3/4, and it's a square. So I'll pull this out and measure it as well. Put this down here. So again, 19 3/4, 19 3/4. So 19 3/4 times 7, and we need to find the middle of this. All right, so that comes out to 138 inches and a fourth. So that's what we got to measure off of first. Do we have enough space for all this? Which we should, because that's how we measured it originally. So let me measure this, and then, oh, I guess I need my pencil. And then we're gonna take that 19 3/4 times 4, because that's how tall it's gonna be. Let me get my pencil. Let's do some measurements. All right, so it's 79 inches up. So from right there, that's going to give a good placement. So we got at least about 3 feet up under here. I had measured off, but I guess this is not level. But anyway, I got from here and made my line. And this is where the bottom of one of these boards are going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and just screw into this and at least have a beam. One of these is exactly long enough, but I need to cut this piece off. And hopefully there's enough wood so I don't have to actually go and get some more. But let's go ahead and mount this up, at least put a bottom rail, and then work our way up. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to go too high up, but it looks like I will anyway. But let's get this bottom row installed. Alrighty, we got the first tier that will cover 2 panels. So that'll go from here to the bottom to here, and then one more up. So I'm gonna put, and for whatever reason, well, not for whatever reason, they're cutting grass now. So anyway, I'm gonna put one up and then get access so I can reach the cables and stuff like that, and do maybe 4 rows just to see where that goes. Man, I tell you, I must be off today or something, because I completely forgot that when I'm screwing these in, this hole right there, I need some washers to hold those tight, because I don't have a screw with the head wide enough that will fill that out. So I don't know. What I think I'm going to do, since I got my ladder, because I have to take my ladder with me to install the security system, I'm probably just going to come up here and finish labeling, marking off where all the rest of the stuff goes, where the boards need to go. And then I will come back and work on this other stuff. Now, that other stuff that I did last time to cover this up, it was good, but it was more of a hassle. So I'm actually just going to put some gaff tape around here that will wrap around, and I just need something so that somebody decides to come up and slide up under the floor and look up, it's covered up. But let me do that real quick. I'm gonna mark the rest of this, pack up so I can head to stop number 2. And I think I'm feeling better now that I'm moving around. So maybe I need to go buy a bike or something and get more into some more exercise. You would think this would be exercise, but the scale does not show it as much. All right, so to make this easier, I do have these split like this. And typically I never really did these in between. But since I don't have to be so super high with this, I probably will do this. So let's grab one. Hopefully my measurements are right, because what, you measure twice, cut once type of thing. All right, so if we're here, so we're there, and we have plenty of space to screw in right here, and then the one above this has room to screw in, and then on and on, on and on and on. So I'm gonna have to get some. Now I need to leave some slack, or I might notch this, or actually just punch a hole in and come back behind it. Because when I've done this, the reason I didn't do this, it made it kind of difficult to run the cables that connect row to row. But if we're able to get in and run the cables through here, we may be able to get through there. So it's just connecting these up, because you got to think, these are all daisy chains. So the power is going to come here, 2 levels of power, one row will go this entire row, then we have to loop back to here, and then the other one will be for the next row that comes up and loops around there. And then the internet, not the internet, but the Ethernet cables that need to be connected do the same thing. So we just got to plot out the path of how that goes. But I think we're doing good. Honestly, this longer, I think that's like a 12-foot. That's more than enough. If I can cut that, I can put that for the top beam, and then I don't have to worry about anything. And then all these other little pieces over there, it should be enough to go over here. Because if I do two more rows here, then I need, what's that, 3 feet? About 3 feet right here on each side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not gonna do that for the top. So I just need 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bottom, and then if we cut that long piece, that'll curl across the entire top. So fun. And I learned my lesson on how to put these back in order so I don't have a problem. I wasn't really paying attention, but anyway, let's load up the ladder and get over here to install a security system. And I need to make a mental note on my way. I'm actually going to leave now, go to Lowe's, get the screws and the washers that can secure this. And I might even get wood screws that actually have that kind of washer built in, so I don't need to do that. That would save a whole lot of pressure. And then you never know, depending on how I feel, I might even come back and start working on that bottom row, something like that. But this is typically not how I do this. But again, like I said, I'm feeling off right now, and I'm excited for the fact I got 20 days until celebrating my bestie's birthday in Mexico. We'll hang out and I'll be able to relax. And then we go another month. Oh, and also I didn't tell y'all, we got the contract for Rising Valley Baptist Church. That's down in Gloucester. I already ordered everything for that, and we'll be working towards that stuff as well too. Oh, they actually hand out a different color cable now. Anyway, let's pick this back up when we come back. Hey, good morning, folks. AJ back. I wasn't planning on actually being here today, but I actually woke up early, and I'm like, let me go ahead and knock out some of this stuff while I am here. So I cut these last 2. I'm gonna try and get as much as I can. Honestly, I have to get over to Spring Creek by 9. I may be able to finish this up, but I might need to cut 2 more pieces for here, and then cut this long beam there, so we can put it up. So I actually already got the pieces down there. I just need to cut 1 more piece for right there, and then I think we should be good. Or what I'm actually going to do, I bought these screws, whatever you want to call them, that hopefully this will fit the washer. Hold on 1 second. All right, so hopefully these will fit in there. So if we take you around here, the idea, as long as it's a little big, but it does fit. Not exactly, doesn't work out perfectly, but the fact, as long as I can get this and hold it in place, we'll be good. So actually, let's go ahead and put one of these here. Let me turn this off, and let's see how that works. All right, that is working. So it looks like they only sent 1 power plug, so that means, I guess, all of this can be connected. So what I'm gonna do is probably go up, and I need to leave a hole here, which actually works good. So we're gonna start at the top. No, I don't want to do that. I might notch this right here. But either way, we are going to, let's actually go here. We'll run it this way, power all the way here, loop, and then back that way. Or I just run this straight up and then come this way to here, and then it ends right there. Honestly, it'll be easier to plug it in right here and start at the bottom. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I always could just move this down as well too. So I'll probably do that. So we'll start the power this way, comes this way, up, and snakes all the way up that way. All right, I stand corrected. There actually was 2 plugs. So the top half will be powered, the bottom half will be powered. I will power this from this direction here. So that's blue going all the way over. And actually, no, that won't work. So I'll have to loop that. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. I guess I can still do it this way. And then it powers this way and loops. I don't know how that will work. It's a pass through. Well, we'll figure it out. Alrighty, so the plan. That one is going to go to the 3rd row, and then we'll loop and power it this way. This one, actually, I don't even need to do that. So this is actually going to plug in to this one right here. The screen that's going to be here, and then it, how am I going to do this? Because the blue is on the right side. So the idea is I'm going to plug the blue in here on this panel that's going to go here, and it's going to loop back this way. So blue, white to blue, and then goes all the way down, white, blue, and then it loops back, and then it ends on this screen. So technically I could do the same thing, don't want to. So it would loop to this 3rd row one, and then actually the power will go up and around and come back down this way. Just gotta have a mental note of doing that. So my drill actually died, and I don't want to go outside and get all the batteries and stuff like that, because this is going to be short. It's 8:40, and I need to get across town. It's a 30-minute drive. So we're good here. I already got the other boards cut. I'm going to cut this last one. That's going to go all the way up top. And I wish I had one more board, one of the smaller ones, instead of yoking this big one up there. But should not be a problem. And maybe I can use some of these boards. No, they got nails in them. I don't feel like doing that. Oh well. Let me cut this last board, and then we's out for the day. Yeah, because this one right here is going to go above that, and then the long one is going to go above all of that. Hey, good morning, folks. AJ here. We are back here at Abundant Life, and I know I've been dipping and bouncing around in here because this is one of the projects we can kind of drag out a little bit, but I'm here very early. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, but they got the wall painted, and some other things happened. I don't know if you can see it. Some of the beams are gone. They painted this one because where I started, they want me to shift everything up. So now, instead of that being the middle, that's actually going to be the bottom of the screen. So I'm here. They went ahead and got this done so I can finish my part. So the hole that I have in place for running the receptacles, you can't see it because it's painted right now. And they're painting the ceiling, so all the cans in the ceiling are also covered. So even if I turned on the lights, I can be able to see much of anything. And I need to hurry up and run some cables in the ceiling because they've already covered up the holes where I was going to run the cables for the other cameras. So we got some more work to do. But anyway, I got to move this box up some so that it's going to exist behind this, and you can't see nothing because of the light in here. But anyway, I need to move this up. Since this was going to be hidden by the wall, I need to move this up. So something told me to go get a laser level because this is going to be really hard to eyeball without any markings. But let me go up here, at least get this second row, this other piece here I can do because I have this beam here. I got the other smaller piece here. At least start from there and then measure off, go from there. And I'll probably run to Lowe's and get a go ahead and get a laser level so that it'll make this a lot easier to do. So we got this, and we'll go from there. All right, we're making good timing. It's going way higher than I thought, but oh well, we got it. So I only got to finish off that last row, and then the very top. What I'm probably going to do is start doing these 2 rows so I can make sure my spacing is right. I don't know why that doesn't look level. I had it on a laser level. Oh well. It's not like these need to be level. As long as those are level, then that's fine. So let's start to mount some of these and make sure my math is right, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got one panel up, and the screws that I got that had these built-in, I guess I want to call them their washers, even though that's not what they are. They just flanged out enough to cover that hole. This part is too big. It is actually splitting the wood, if you can see. So I need to go back to Lowe's and get some smaller ones. What are these? Need to get something a little bit smaller so it won't split the wood there. And then my goal is I want to at least get 1 row across. That way I know my measurements are right. Because if not, then I'm going to have to recalculate everything, trim off some edges, and I really hope my math was right on this. Alrighty, so we're doing good. I was off by 2 inches. So if I had slid everything over and started by 1 inch, would have been fine. But we got 1 row. Like I said, we just got that little bit left, but we're good. I can trim that other side off if need be, or honestly just paint it black and you're not going to notice it. So I am going to work on doing at least the 2nd row, get that wired up, and then I'm gonna come back and do the rest of that. But if I can knock out both of those rows, we only got 2 more, then we'll be good to go. And then all we got to do is concentrate on the wiring, going to the other building, and then we're good. Alrighty, folks, we got the 2 rows done. Left some of those exposed, and then I was gonna put the other one up there, but I need to get another 2-gang box there. So that's going to exist back there so that I can run the power from up here instead of trying to fish it all the way through all of that. So I'm going to get a black plate to cover that up, put another hole up there, run the other beam, run one across, and then we should be able to get all this done. Hopefully, I'll be back Thursday. I got to go to DC tomorrow, but hopefully get here and finish that up. Now, the funny thing about it is I was just talking to Pastor Gary. Remember when I kept saying in the earlier videos I didn't go into the other part of the building because I thought the alarm was on? It was, but the keys that were also there had a key fob. I thought it was like a garage door opener, but it's the fob to actually turn the alarm system off. So we're going to knock this out. I've run the other cables for the cameras as well as the SDI cables for the other side PTZs because that's what they're painting right now. I want to get through there. Hopefully I can just do a push rod and push everything all the way through so I can get there and then run the other 2 Ethernet cables that will power the cameras back up to the front to run it down. We got an idea of where the musicians are going to be. The musicians are going to be on flanking the sides there, and they're going to go with powered speakers instead of the amp. So it doesn't really matter where I do. I just want them to not have to run the cables very far, and then we should be good to go. Hopefully I'll be able to, since I can get in here as early as possible, whenever I decide to wake up on Thursday, maybe I can get here at 6 and then do those beams and then start putting everything else up. And it's going pretty smooth. Again, this is my 4th wall, so learned a lot from the stuff. So yeah. And then once we do that, as long as I can get into the media room and I run that connection, actually, that's the other thing I'm gonna do. I don't have enough time. I was kind of test out those 2 Ethernet cables that I cut. That way I can at least get internet and hook up the access point back here. But anyway, I don't have enough time. I have to get on the road and I have to get set up for a Zoom consultation that I got at noon. So anyway, let's kick back over to Thursday now. All right, folks, I am very, very tired. I didn't do any video because I was just trying to hurry up and get this stuff knocked out. I'm in the baptismal. Let me show you what we got done. So we got our 2 feeds for the digital wall right here. We had to move up the outlets, the holes for the outlets. I had bought a plate. I must have left that at home to cover that up, but that plugs in. So what I just talked to Pastor Gary, I wasn't thinking because I thought this was going to come out to where my rack is, but the rack is actually here. So instead of doing that, I'm asking the electrician to come back and put a switch on this one so that when we plug the wall in, there'll be a switch right there that they switch to turn the wall on and off. And worst case scenario, I can put the Casa smart outlet right here. They can turn it off remotely. Might do either one, but I think putting the switch right there is the easiest thing to do. They can just punch the hole out on here, run the cables there and back, and then real simple. And let me show you, we actually finished the wall. I still need to put up the modules, but the frame is done for everything. And I was just back there unplugging everything. So we got everything there. We just got a few tiles. What's that? 1, 2, 3. I ain't gonna count it. Anyway, we got those left to put up. All of them are right there. It's just that I'm tired. The main thing is we got the frame up now. It's just popping the tiles. Got everything is powered up. Plus, I don't have my laptop, so I can't even plug that in to configure it. So I'm gonna probably come back Sunday since nobody's here, finish doing all of this. And what we're planning on doing is, originally we were gonna put the wires behind this molding, but they painted the ceiling this color to make it easier. So I'm gonna get some black Ethernet cable that will run this way. The SDI cable is already black going that way. And that's how we'll do both sides. And then the cable for the snake is already black. We're going to run that through that conduit across here up. And that'll be the other cable that goes in that direction. So pretty straightforward to be able to hide everything. Looking really good from here. I mean, my camera is doing it better than what you'll see with your natural eye. You really can't even see that thing. So I can't wait to see what it looks like when everything is turned on. But yeah, that is about it. I am extra tired. I'm going to go home, get ready for the Q&A tomorrow, and then going back to hometown for my Uncle John's funeral. So I will be out of the office until Monday, but I'm going to take it upon myself to come back here Sunday and finish this up because we're going to be starting install at Rising Valley down in Gloucester next week. So anybody who is in the area, be on the lookout for an email because I'll be recruiting some of y'all to come out there and help. So anyway, we'll see y'all Sunday. Hey folks, I wasn't planning on coming back today. It's still Thursday, but I ended up having to ship off a computer that someone bought for me, and my shipper is close to Abundant Life. So we're back here and we are all done. Yay, all configured and everything like that. Had a slight issue, which I am willing to redo this if I have to. One of the pieces of wood has bowed on me. So I don't know if I get up close, you see that crease right there? It's pulling the screen away so you can see it. Now, being all honest, if there's a black background, you won't notice it, but I don't like that it started to pull away. It's that top one, the beam that I have going into the wall, it's like bending and pulling away from the wall. So it's making that whole side stick out and make that crease. which would mean I would have to literally almost take this entire side out up to halfway, pull that beam off, and I think the beam only takes up 2 rows, take that down, cut another one, or cut that little piece out that's bending it, slide everything over. I'm prepared to do that. Don't want to, but prepared to. But anyway, I ran my cables and everything just to get it set up. It's all configured, and yay, yay, yay. The only thing we need to do now is run cables for the 2 cameras. They go back this way, 2 SDI cables going that way, another SDI cable for the TV that's going to be mounted in the back, and then run all those cables and new conduit to the media room. So I will do that, not next week, but when I get back, because I think they want to move in the first Sunday in November. That'll give me another 3 days to get all those cables. And the good thing is all the cables are already back there. So we're done. All right, folks, we're back from Mexico. We're back at Abundant Life. And as you can see, they're doing a whole lot of stuff. I don't have all my tools with me because all of that stuff is still down in Gloucester. As you see, they're putting the brick accents and things like that. The main thing I'm trying to do is run the additional cables for the cameras that are gonna go across the beads right here, as well as on this other side. I don't have it to do. Like I said, I got some wire cutters. I'm gonna try and push my cable. Got an Ethernet cable right there and another one on the matching side. Push that cable up, leave enough slack down here because again, they have all these sconces up, but I'm gonna have to come back and put the mounts for the side cameras back up here, which again, we can't do because they're still in service using those cameras. But the other thing I want to do is I have my other conduit. Man, they've really moved that camera. I gotta go. They got it all twisted up here. But I need to relocate these wires and run the conduit up under here so I can hide the cable. They still haven't sent me the information for the access point, so that's why I haven't been able to put that up there yet. I could, I just don't want to put it up and then have to pull it right back down to reset it and all this other stuff. So we shall see what we're gonna do with that. But I also have the key. I locked it back up. I didn't turn the alarm off. I need to turn the alarm off because I'm gonna tentatively run cable all the way back to the media room and so that I can get an image. And it looks like they disconnected a bunch of the stuff for the from a wall. I mean for the rack. And I don't know how they sorted. I had everything in order, but we had to figure that out. But anyway, I'm here. So anyway, let's get back to work. All right, so we got the other cables ran. These are the originals that we already did. We pulled 3 more, one for the 2 side cameras, one for the back wall TV that I forgot. And then this is what's gonna be, this Ethernet cable is gonna be for the snake that I've pulled a bunch of it. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I ordered a bunch of other RG6 cable, and what that cable is actually white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to get other conduit to widen this. Even though it's only 2 cables in there, we're gonna be running 6 in there, which is, I doubt there's enough room in there. We will try. But the main thing is to once we get the cables here is I really don't want to drill through the wall. That would be a more direct shot to get over there. Just imagining how it was to get through that door. But again, we're above the door frame, so it might not be, the center block might be hollow. So we might punch through the center of one of these. And then if we do, that may be better. But hopefully I got enough cable. But what I want to do is run this over here on the floor right now, over here to the media room. And as you can see in here, I got everything turned on. And what I want to do is run it through this hallway and then just connect it to one of these feeds so that I can get a signal back to the digital wall. And that's mainly it for right now. Because again, I don't have all my tools with me. So this is just to get the cables ran as best as possible. I will need to go back to Lowe's. I got some conduit, but it's not big enough. It's not wide enough for all the cables that I need to run in here. So, um, and I wanted to have stuff be symmetrical, be the same. So I actually already had some conduit here that I thought I actually could use. But again, I want stuff to be symmetrical. So this conduit here, see, it just pushes apart and it stays connected. That's what I wanted to do on this side. That would run one SDI cable and the digital snake, which is nothing but an Ethernet cable. That's fine. And I'm probably going to put a junction box right there so all of my connections that I do can hide in there where I'm coupling everything together. It will hide in there, so enough space. But the idea is to run it here, go up, and then run it across there, which I've pulled enough black cable, and that's why I got the black Ethernet cable. Now, the symmetrical part is I have this conduit that I already ran here, and this is where the whole cap, the entire piece comes off. This is going to hide one Ethernet, one SDI cable here. And I think I did this backwards. No, I'm right. That's going to run there. So I'm going to get that other type. One more piece will get me all the way here to the wall. Then I can loop it up. Then another piece is going to go across there up until I can get to the headboard. I mean, not the headboard, but you know what I'm talking about. Up there and run it all the way to where the camera is going to be, which is going to be right about here. So I'll be right here. I want to probably do it in front of the light, over top of the light, so that I don't have any type of lighting causing an issue with the image. And then the same location, I'm probably going to put another camera over there. Yeah, by doing that, that avoids me having to run, go back up in the ceiling and run the snake, even though that would be the most direct way. I just don't have, I don't want to relocate all of this and move up there. Honestly, I possibly could do that. I really don't want to. That's the main thing, because we already got the cables in there. I don't want to have to move that scaffolding back over here just to pop that tile and run it all over again and stuff like that. But honestly, that would make it easier. I guess I'll have to do that. Alrighty, so I have my temporary cable ran all the way back to the A10 television studio right there. And now we just got to figure out which one of these three goes to the wall back there. So let's see. Excited we did it on the first try. So there's our image right there. And we'll be running the cameras everywhere else. And I'm going to come back and fix that line right there. All right, so we've made some progress. I guess this is a PoE switch on the other side, so I don't even have to worry about power. So I just put the access point. It's not in its final place. Talk with the guys who are doing the work here. This is actually going to cover up the molding that they were going to do. So I'm fine to run my stuff here, but the adhesive is not sticking. So I don't have my screws. I'm going to get some drywall screws to screw into the conduit when I put it up there. Before I turned everything off, I actually got the cables routed and I tested them out. So this one is actually to the back camera. The other one is to the wall, which right now is showing the direct connection. That's not ultimately what it's going to be. What's going to actually happen with that is, just like in the sanctuary, that is going to be running directly from ProPresenter. So that's going to most likely be an auxiliary out that I have back here, which actually is being used like it is right now. Let's actually go over here. So the auxiliary out is going to route directly to that wall. So if I come here and here and see, as you see, the auxiliary was linked to the stage display. That, now I got to rethink this now. that is actually going to be for the back wall. So the auxiliary out is going to the back wall TV. I got to remember that. And then we need to run ProPresenter directly to the wall. So I think that is going to come from the computer. You got to think through this. Because, yeah, the digital wall always showed ProPresenter. So it's nothing but graphics. Okay, I might be overthinking this. I think what we need to do is repurpose this. So I will, instead of the stage display going to the auxiliary out going to the stage display, what we're going to do is ProPresenter, which will be the computer. And I don't know why this is doubling up. It shouldn't be doing that. It might be a setting of how they have it, and I'll fix that. But anyway, we're going to run ProPresenter here. This is what's going to be routed to the auxiliary out. So that goes to the digital wall permanently. And then the stage display, instead of it going to this connection here, we need to run another connection from this computer directly to the back wall. Because originally how they had that, they had another ATEM that was acting as a splitter, so that at a press of a button, they could still show the back wall. I got to redesign this. Excuse me, not that I have to redesign it. They've made changes because it's meant for how they do the flow. But now that we've done a bunch of other stuff here, they didn't have a back wall. We need to change that. See, since we did this, the television studio, the ATEM television studio, that's what came out. The Constellation would have been better because the ATEM Constellation has multiple programmable outputs that will go to the out. So we can do multiple auxiliary outs to be one for the digital wall, one for the back wall. So what we could do, and I don't like adding a bunch of stuff like this, we could run the stage display directly to the computer, and then we don't have to worry about the ATEM at all. And then the ATEM will be changed from the auxiliary out for the stage display. It would go directly for the digital wall. That's the cleanest, easiest way to do it, because we can just route that other cable here. And if I had the connections, I'm trying to think, because I put the AMD card I gave them gives 2 outs. This one has 4. One for the monitor, one for the stage display, one for the main out on ProPresenter. So if I give them, the main thing is I think the motherboard in here will not fit. It's not an ATX motherboard. So, and I can't get in here to see it. I think the graphics card blocks the space, because what I was going to do is put a Decklink mini monitor in, and then I can just run an SDI cable directly here. Don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna have to get another HDMI to SDI converter. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I know I'm sorry, this is boring. This is just thinking on my feet here, because this is completely different than how they had this originally. So I got to figure this out. Either way, we already got the lines back here. What we need to do now is just determine, do I need to run that cable? Like, we're going to punch through over there and go through the walls. That'll be easier than doing all the other conduit. I have another spool of cable that will get me back here. That's not the problem. And even the cables I just ran, I can repurpose as long as I make the hole big enough, which I will, to avoid having to do this in a later time. We'll widen the hole, maybe a 2-inch diameter. That'll give me plenty of room to run the cables all the way over here. I'll fish them through the ceiling to get over there, drop down, connect to the ATEM. The other one will come over here some way. And actually, I don't even need to do that. I can run all of them over there. And then instead of connecting the ATEM directly to the cable, the cable that's coming from the computer that powers the stage display, instead of me connecting it to the ATEM, I can put the HDMI to SDI converter there and then just connect it that way. I'm definitely going to have to redo the schematics of this, because how I put it originally, they've made changes here, and I don't want to change too much because I don't want to throw them off because they're still using this. I'm just making a plan of when we do the hard cutover, which is going to be when I come in, take down the other two cameras, reposition them on the left and right, which I'm going to be back on Thursday to finish up the cabling for that. And I will mark off the mounts for those. I'll have one mount already, because when they want, oh, that's the other thing I didn't mention. They wanted me to change the front camera, since the whole front wall and the digital wall is black, that white camera stands out. So we ordered a black 20x PTZ to replace that with a black mount. We'll take all that stuff down, put the other camera up in place, the exact same type, just a different color, so it blends into the wall. And then that mount and camera, I can actually take down and put on one of the walls. So I can use that mount to mark off where I need to put everything. I'll mark it on both sides, but then keep it on one of the walls. I can actually just keep that camera in place already, since it's already set up and everything. I'll mount that one, and then when we take down the two, I'll actually take the camera that they have, and instead of the small camera, I'm going to put that one back in the baptismal area. And then that 4K one that y'all haven't seen a review of, I'm going to just redo the review of that, and I'll just take that and keep one back with me. So I'll take that now. But besides that, I think we're done for today. I'll be back Thursday to hopefully finish up all the wiring. They also asked me to to hang the TV that's going to be in the back wall. So those two mounts that I returned, I'm telling you, everybody has like a cable drawer. I have like an equipment drawer, because like originally we had ceiling mounts for the TVs in Mount Sinai. They didn't like those, so we took those back and put wall mounts. So I threw those away. Now at Rising Valley, I returned the wall mounts because we need ceiling mounts. So if I had never got thrown away those mounts, I could have just moved them to this other church. So I bought those and returned those two mounts. And now I need to buy another mount for here. So if I had never returned those other mounts, I could have used that stuff. So I'm getting into the mindset of not returning stuff, because sooner or later another project is going to need that stuff. But a lot of stuff to keep up here and get this stuff sorted out. But anyway, let me shut down everything. I've already ordered everything, and then we'll be back on Thursday to put the mount up, switch out the camera, put up the other camera on one of the sides, marking the other sides, pulling the rest of the cables, drilling some holes in some walls so we can get all the cables back here. And then we'll be back again to move one camera when they're ready to move, and then hang the TV and all that other fun stuff.